Okay. Hello. Welcome to Talk Photo to Me. I'm here with the great and amazing Courtney Stone.
The great.
Oh my gosh. We're traveling right now, so travel pod it is. We're doing a wedding here in Oregon, and we just decided to do the pod on the road. So Courtney's here with me, and I'm just going to let her kind of introduce herself. Tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into photography, all that good stuff.
All right. I hate introductions. So, like she said, Courtney Stone. Man, photography. You know, I hate when people are like, oh, I always had a camera, but like that literally was me as like a child. I loved to just take pictures of like random stuff.
Right.
I would say I got really into it with my mom's old Nikon DSLR giant brick of a camera in 2013. But prior to that, you know, I did like yearbook.
Yeah.
Which was so fun during like high school and stuff. So I was the yearbook like sports girl. So I went and did like football, which was so fun. Also terrifying.
That's so cool.
But then I would say professionally, I started my business in 2019, and then COVID hit, which was crazy. I don't know if you were like this, but I blew up during COVID.
I feel like I got a little bit busier during COVID.
I won't say I blew up, but like I more so, more home sessions because you were able to like keep that 6 feet apart. I did a lot of like patio sessions too.
Oh, I love the patio sessions.
I miss those.
Those were fun.
I miss those so much.
Oh my gosh.
Should we bring them back?
Let's just
we'll keep them creative. But yeah, and so, you know, I dabbled in a lot. I think that was like the biggest thing I did, like a lot of event photography. Second shot a lot for weddings with Sugar Rush, who were my wedding photographers. So I learned a lot from them. But I would say, primarily now I just shoot weddings, boudoir, portrait sessions. I do family sessions too. I don't primarily market those on my Instagram. Yeah. But, you know, just honestly anything. I just love to get creative.
Yeah. No, 100%. And it's kind of interesting. Courtney and I met during what the world knows as like content workshop styled shoot days. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Content days. What are they? Are they worth it? What's the difference between content days and workshops and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was going to say, are we talking about content days? Or are we talking about workshops? Or the mix of both?
A mix of both.
And styled shoots. Like, I think there's like 3 different areas that we can really talk about.
Yeah. So. And so we're going to get into it because there's a lot to talk about. But that's how we met. Like, we went to a styled shoot.
2021? Or was it in 2020?
I think it was in 2020.
I think it was in 2020.
Because you and I I started my business in 2019 too. Yeah. So you and I were like beginning. Mm-hmm. And
like getting in, like actually going out and trying to find people to work with instead of just like hobby shooting. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so, and I remember that. And it was at the like aviating, like paragliding place and stuff like that.
I know.
And
never shot there again, but I kind of want to.
Okay, but no, copyrighted. Nobody can take this.
Sorry, I'm so loud.
That's okay. But how cool would it be to go up there while there's paragliders and you just do a huge ass shoot up there?
Oh yeah.
If somebody takes that idea, I'm gonna hunt them down.
Got you like a fish.
Anyways, so that's how we met, and we became friends ever since. And so we obviously have a close tie to these content styled shoot days and stuff like that.
We've hosted a couple together.
We've hosted a couple, and even on our own too. We've done it with different people. Like we know a lot.
We're in the world. Yeah, we're in that world. We're excited to talk about. Is it worth it? Who is it worth it for? Right? Like who would it benefit? Who would it not?
And maybe some people don't even know what these things are. Like, what are styled shoots? When I became a photographer, I had no idea what a styled shoot was. I was like, what? And that they even exist. So it's going to be a fun thing to talk about. But before...
Also, is it just a Utah thing? Right? Like, are these really just big in Utah? Or are there other places too? So, sorry.
I would love to... Yeah, I want to think about that. Okay, but before we get into that, we also wanted to talk about... so Courtney and I just recently did an expo. A bridal expo. Our first one ever. And we just kind of wanted to, like, I guess... debrief and talk about it.
From it.
Because it was a crazy experience. Not like crazy, but like definitely something I've never done before.
Yeah. And I think also what we should touch on is like we had help from a couple individuals that really, really assisted us. Or else I think you and I would have been really, really chaotic trying to do this. So
100%.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk on that.
Yeah, and so it was really fun. It was in Lehigh at Thanksgiving Point, and it was like a whole bunch of different vendors there. And when I got married, I went to a bridal expo.
Same.
And I'll be honest, I remember going away from that expo being like, that was too much. I have no idea what I need to get. But I also learned some things that I didn't think I needed, but ended up wanting and stuff like that. So I see pros and cons to expos. Like, yeah, you can learn about a whole new thing that like maybe you didn't think of before. Like our neighbor at the expo paints your bouquets and like oil paintings. Stunning. Like, what a stunning idea.
If you want her info, reach out to us because she really is so awesome. I wish I could remember her name right now.
I know. Yeah, she like literally that's the coolest thing ever, and her work is stunning. So, but like, so bridal expos. Do we love them? Do we hate them? Personally, I think there's a place for them.
From a photographer standpoint, or are we talking from a bride standpoint?
Let's talk about photographer standpoint.
Okay, cool. I think there's a huge benefit to them, even if it's just a learning experience.
Yeah.
It really, I think, excelled my understanding of like what type of marketing material you really should have to stand out in this industry, especially in Utah. Mm-hmm. You know, we haven't seen anything yet. It's only been a couple weeks since we've done it.
Yeah, and I think that's what's a little scary right now.
Because we did spend quite a bit of money, you know, to do it. Me and her partnered up together where she's the photographer and I'm the videographer because I do both photo and video.
Yeah.
So we had to do like kind of all new marketing and branding. Because if you didn't know this, you can't share booths with individuals at vendors, which I understand. I totally understand that.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of create a whole new branding and like marketing plan together, which was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything yet from it, but I will say, I think there's a place also just to know, I hate to say this, but like just to know your competition around, or maybe, I don't want to say competition, but get to know more vendors in this industry.
I will say, like the fact that I got to, like when we went off to break for lunch and stuff like that, I looked at other booths and introduced myself to people. Like it was cool to like meet other people that are in the Utah wedding world, like and stuff like that. And it was
because like there's florists, there's the girl that paints, there's DJs, there's lighting. Like it's not jewelers. Just photographers that are there or videographers, you know. So if that's like one thing that it's making you like a little nervous is like, oh, am I going to stand out? There was like maybe I would say 7 to 12 different photo and video booths in that expo out of, I don't know, 100. I don't know how many were in there.
Yeah. It was small. It was a small expo.
It was a smaller one. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where like I still say do it. Yeah. Because it was. I
mean, even if we honestly don't see a profit from this, like hopefully we do, fingers crossed. But like, even if we didn't, like, it was really cool to introduce ourselves to a huge crowd of people. Yeah. Like they now know our names. Mm-hmm. If they don't book with us, then fine, but they know of us and other vendors know of us that could possibly recommend us. Like we made some friends, like, and that's networking. Like if anything, you got a really good networking opportunity and I want to do another expo just so I can network again. Like I just think that's people aren't going to book you unless they know about you.
Yeah, I think from a marketing standpoint, it made me feel like business. Like this is business now. Like I actually had to put time and effort. Like I know as we got into this like industry and anyone that's like listening that loves like photo, like you did it because you love taking beautiful pictures. Yeah. Maybe you love the editing process. Me, I love like the wedding days. Like those are where I thrive. Like I love them so much. But on top of it is we also have to be, right, the marketer, the business person, the accountant. We have to put on all these other hats that feel uncomfortable. And expos, I think, allow you to do that in a very short amount of time. Yeah. In a mass amount of people. Yeah. So it teaches you the business side, I think, a little bit more.
Totally. And I also just really love, like, everything's so online nowadays. Like, even, like, there's a ton of times that my, like, consultation calls are just calls.
Mhm.
I prefer it to do it in person because,
Yeah.
like, I want you guys to know who I am. But, like, so it was cool to sit there for hours and actually talk face-to-face to people, have them see our personalities.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's just a better way.
It's a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so overall, I don't have any regrets doing it.
Mhm.
We did put in a lot of money, and I'm hoping that we at least break even.
Let's just see one.
Yeah, I think we can get one.
One would be awesome.
Yeah. And
But-
so,
Because
yeah.
one, like, and that's one thing too. One person can open so many doors to others,
Yeah.
and also I think it would give you the confidence of like, wow, that actually did work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. And how cool is it to be like, oh, I met these people at an expo, and then we made such a good impression that they chose us for their special day.
Yeah.
I just think that's awesome.
Agreed.
So
I agree.
overall, no regrets. I think it was really cool. I'm hoping it pulls through, but like it was a cool learning experience, and I'm excited to do more in the future.
I was gonna say, if you're on the fence, like if you're like, shouldn't I? Just if you have the money, do it.
Yeah.
I say, like, if you have the money to advertise yourself in that way, like maybe Instagram's not doing it. Maybe you want to take a pause on doing ads. Maybe whatever. Think of different ways to market yourself, and if you have that money, I say do it. 10 out of 10.
And then just
Absolutely.
know, like, you have to sell yourself. You can't just sit back in your booth and hope that people come in. Like, you got to say hi. You got to be extroverts.
Oh, I was exhausted. My face hurt.
Yeah.
After talking, I was like, okay.
It is mentally exhausting. I'm an omnivert, so I can do both extrovert and introverted things, but I need a break.
That's a thing?
You didn't know about that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an omnivore. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need, like, my social battery, like, recharged after a while. But I do also enjoy going out and having, like, that whole...
Yeah. Have you ever taken, like, the Myers-Briggs tests? Or, like, the 16 personalities test?
The one that's, like, the numbers? ESRD things? Yeah, I couldn't tell you what I am.
Take it again, because it tells you you're introverted, and I'm 51 extroverted, 49 introverted, so I'm an omnivore.
Sorry to cut you off. That was wild. I just had no idea. I'm like sitting here. I'm like,
No!
Is she talking about dinosaurs? Did she mean to say that?
What?
I'm not going to correct her. I'm not going to correct her.
I'm talking about dinosaurs. That's hilarious. No, but I'm going to need you to take that test. Anyways,
I'll let you guys know. Next time.
She'll post it.
Yeah, next time
Everyone was dying to know.
You better be. Just kidding.
Okay. Let's get into talking about content days. So, what are content days? What are workshops? What are stylized shoots? What's the difference between them? Tell me, Courtney, you're the master.
Oh, gosh. No, I was actually going to open this. I was going to open the floor to you. So the way that I view them, styled shoots can just be like not a huge production. Maybe not multiple vendors. Maybe it's another photographer putting it on and just wants to open the shoot to other people.
Yeah.
Lower on the price point usually, at least in Utah. Anywhere that I'm seeing $75 to $250 is like a stylized shoot, in my opinion. Then we have a workshop, which we talked about today because I was curious on your perspective. We both agreed that a workshop is something that you're gaining education from.
Yeah, I think I also, sorry to cut you off. I also think it's education focused. It's not about getting content or shooting. It is strictly about learning something, like
branding,
marketing, like keynote speakers, like
how to shoot, how to use your camera. Like it could be,
like you are learning something. And sometimes people learn by hands-on stuff, which would then turn into like getting the content, going to a styled shoot or something like that. But like when you're attending a workshop, I think you're going there to get education.
Agreed. I agree.
Yeah.
And workshops can be content days and workshops combined, right? You might have like a styled shoot and then there's education pieces later or vice versa. But like you said, it does have to be education focused.
Yeah.
You need to be learning something. That's what you're paying for. And then content days.
It's just about getting content. Honestly, it's, for me, that's how I see it.
Yes. And I have a hard part when people say like content days, because in my opinion, like, I've done content days where like I go to Jackson Hole, right? And I'm paying for this big like mass production of things or multiple models.
Yeah.
And that, maybe can be considered like a content trip, a content day, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been in Utah to content days where it's like anywhere from just like 2 hours and then just like a whole bunch of content like thrown in.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I think we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, and styled shoots and workshops, but I think those are where Utah has some issues.
When I think of content days, I think of multiple sets or like multiple concepts. You're there to get content to last you.
Yes.
And so like it's not just a one styled shoot thing. It's a couple here, a portrait here, a landscape, I don't know, something. Like you have multiple things.
Usually multiple vendors are working on that too.
Vendors are a part of it.
Venues are a part of it.
You have stations and there's flat lays. Like you're there to just get literally content. You're there to just
wedding day.
Yeah. And stuff.
In multiple different areas. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that, you're right. Like those are the things that I think I go to most in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to go to. Because I do, like if I'm wanting more wedding content and I don't have any weddings booked, whatever, I'll go look for a wedding content day so that I can get flat lays, I can get bridals, I can get ceremonies, I can get a faux picture perfect content day
without having to set up anything yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I would pay to do that and stuff like that. And so I feel like I go to more of that stuff other than like workshops and styled shoots. The first ever, like whenever I got introduced into this world of like content styled shoots and stuff like that, I went to a styled shoot. There's literally one other photographer with me. And it was a tiny, just little couple session.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. It was nothing too extravagant or anything. But as I got into the world, I learned more about like content days and stuff like that. And those ones I feel like are a little bit more worth your time.
Sorry, hopefully you guys...
Pop off, queen. It's okay. They can always hear Nico barking in the background.
There was a dog fight in the alleyway behind us.
Yeah.
But, they were going at it.
They were going at it.
No, I agree. I think also, I just don't think there's a ton of workshops, at least in Utah. Like, I don't see a ton of educational pieces.
No. I mean,
through.
Our local camera shop, Picture Line, they do workshops.
Love Picture Line.
I love Picture Line.
Are they just on their website?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I will say, Picture Line, I love you guys to death. I don't feel like they advertise them very well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had no idea until you told me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, because I've learned a lot of my studio lighting from them, but that's just because I'm friends with the guy that runs it and stuff, and he tells me about it, and I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
Website, gotta check the website.
They have. Okay, I'm not sponsored by Picture Line, but they might as well should pay me because I love them. But
I spend so much money there.
They do so much, like, just, like, well-priced events where I've learned so much from their events.
Oh,
like, they have a whole event, like, section of their building where they just teach workshops. I
was curious what that was for, because they just built that, not too long ago. I just thought they were doing, like, crazy production stuff.
No, like, they hold classes there.
I love that.
That
is really
awesome.
Cool. That is really, really cool.
So, check it out. Picture Line, great place to learn. But that would be like the only place that I know of that I can go to for workshops and stuff like that. I see workshops, but they're in Chicago or they're in California or they're in Arizona. Like they're not being based in Utah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And right. Like, when COVID was happening, Jai Long did the whole wedding summit and like that's fallen off. I think that he might still do it, but like, or he's now gone in person and you have to like travel and do those things. I am attending one at the end of this month that photographers are putting on about like branding and stuff. And so like, I think, workshops are just, and I don't know, I would love to put on a workshop. I don't know if it's just because I think this is just my perspective. Like it's a little bit more intimidating, right? To have to like get up and like teach people and like educate them like what's worked for them. Cause not everything's going to work for everyone. So I can see where maybe there's some like backlash on like the type of education that's given in some workshops. Sure. But I'm going to check out Picture Line. I think I want to check out Picture Line.
Oh, because I know that they're working on making it like a bigger thing because they have a whole big event space now and they want to be known for like the workshops in Utah, and I want that for them. Like I've been to multiple and I'm very impressed with like they just had a huge photo conference.
Yeah, didn't you met some people there that like were really awesome and like models now that you like work with? Yeah.
Well, just like also like I met a photographer that photographs celebrities.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I remember you told me about him.
And that was such a cool like panel.
Yeah.
Like I loved that. And I learned so much from that day. And so like I want more of that stuff. But okay.
Yeah. Digress.
There's so much to talk about there too because like okay. Sorry if I'm going off the rails here, but I really want to talk about this. We've been in the game for 5 years now, a little over 5 years, 5.5, 6 years.
Professionally, yeah.
Professionally.
Yeah, working with some awesome people, absolutely.
It feels weird to say that I'm a pro.
Same.
Right? Like, I'm nowhere near the people who've been doing it for 20 years, obviously, but I feel confident in my skills, and I feel like I have something great to offer and stuff like that. And so I would consider myself a professional. And so
10,000 hours, that's all it takes, right? To be a something at something. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so as professionals, should we put our money into these things nowadays? Like, should we go to content days? Should we go to style shoots? Should we go to workshops? Because, like, I already feel like I already know my place in this world and stuff like that. And, like, if I have a concept that I want to photograph, why would I pay somebody to do it when I could most likely do it myself, right? Yeah. And that's a hot thing, right? Like, and that's where, like, are these things worth it? Do they serve a purpose? Should we invest in these things?
So this is where I might have some backlash because I say yes to a point. To a point. Yeah.
I agree.
Because I took a little bit of a slower year this year with everything that happened last year. So I found myself going to a little bit more content days, and all of the ones that I went to this year, I've enjoyed. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is always drama during content days. Always. Because you put 10 to 15 to 20 creatives that are so used to running their shoots. Yeah. There's always going to be drama. So for me, like, I think it's, what are you going there for? Because, like, I go to content days now more for marketing, or not marketing, networking, and just getting to know different vendors in the industry that I maybe haven't worked with yet. It's not so much about the content, because I will be honest, I've never walked away from a content day being like, I got that shot that I wanted. Exactly. That I was envisioning myself going before. Yeah. So, and is that because I've done it for 5 years now? I don't know. Because then on the flip side of it, these newer individuals that, like you said, maybe first year, maybe even just like starting 2 or 3, or haven't even done a wedding yet, and they're coming from family photographers. Yeah, you need to have something in your portfolio. Yeah. So you go be the one that's forceful at those content days to make sure that you get what your money is worth. Yeah. For me, I'm just a little bit more passive. I'll be on the background. I'll now I always walk away with content. Yeah. But I won't say it's like what I envision. Yeah. Always on content days. But I've also never, other than the one that I did in Jackson Hole in 2022 or 2021, that was like a whole elopement type of content trip up in Jackson Hole. So it was beautiful. So I really I still love every single photo that I did there. Yeah. So I think, but I haven't gone to any other state to do them. But I also am going to try something this next year where I'm going to try and go to one in maybe Chicago or California or somewhere, because I want to get more into that, quote unquote luxury editorial. And we just don't have those in Utah. Yeah, I will say, I've seen. We're in Oregon right now. The first time I ever went to Oregon was for a content day retreat. Yeah. Like it was a 2-day thing, and we stayed in Seaside, where we're at right now, and shot all over the northern coast and stuff like that. And I will say that was so worth it. One, it introduced me to my favorite place on the planet. I want to live in Oregon. It's my favorite place. 2, I met some really, really cool models and people. I'm really good friends with somebody that I met on that trip, and she was a model. And I learned new things from other photographers. And then I figured out here that I am a more moody photographer, because here, shooting on the beach and with the lighting here, I was like, this is my
shit.
Your style
like, this is
definitely
so good.
changed after that content day, I'll
Yeah.
say. Like, yeah, you definitely leaned more into it, for
Yeah.
sure. And look, I mean, that's the other thing. Now, she's doing a wedding here, right? So, Dylan Fox, I got mentored by him. I did a couple of calls with him, and he was like, and I take this advice, and I mentor photographers too, and I tell them this every time. I'm like, if you want to shoot somewhere, you have to go shoot there first. You can't just be like, I want an Oregon wedding. Well, you have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, you don't know where to go. You don't know.
I've done that for Dallas. I've done that for California. I've done that. I'm hoping to do that with Oregon here. Like, you do just have to, and that's a form of advertising, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going to come back to it. What are you using content days for?
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
What's great, so content days, they really are for everyone.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
So like in the whole like question, is it worth it? Yes. You just have to ask, what are you trying to get out of it?
Yeah.
And you don't have to sign up for every single one. Like, you literally have to be picky about it. Like, do I want this? So, I mean, we live in Utah. I've been to Moab 5 bajillion times. Do I want to go on another Moab?
So I've never done a Moab one.
What?
Never.
I've done at least 8. And so, like,
8?
At least 8. Like, and so I'm to the point now where if there were another Moab
You just say
content, or workshop or anything, like, I probably would just say no, because I've been there. And also for a workshop, I don't know if I want to drive 3.5 hours. I might. It's neither here or there.
Right. But you've done it.
I'm not looking to get content there.
Yeah, you've had enough content. You don't really foresee yourself doing and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Like, there's been content days at a venue that, I was like, well, I don't want to do a wedding there. I'm not going to go to a content day there.
Yeah.
But should that stop you from signing up for a content day? No. If you're still in your first year, second, I say up to year 4, in my opinion. If you're at like first, second, third year, shoot as much as you can. If you can afford it and they're not crazy content days, go. Because you're also going to just learn. Like you said, you learn so much. And I've met like all my friends through content days.
All of my best friends,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, you, Katie, and Shay, I've met all. I have other friends. Oh my gosh. Most of the photographers that I know today are from style shoots or like content days and stuff like that. And yeah, I think at your first couple of years, it's probably the best way to learn. Yeah. I never went to school for photography. I was self-taught. And a lot of that was because I went to a lot of content days, a lot of workshops, a lot of styled shoots, and I learned from other people.
Well, because here's the thing, right? We all go on YouTube when you're learning and you learn how to edit, YouTube University, whatever. Yeah. The thing that you're not going to learn on YouTube, even if you watch how to pose a client, how to do this, you have to physically get comfortable to be like, hey, are you okay if I do this? Like, there's things that you learn in content days that I didn't even know were a thing. Yeah. Yeah. When learning through YouTube, even.
No, 100%. And like, there's just so many different ways to do photo shoots. And so when you're in a group full of 10 other photographers and you see how they run things, it can be good and it can be scary. I will say, I'm not going to say what content day. If we're going to spill some tea here. I went to a content day where I think these photographers were new.
To hosting content days?
No. They were part of it.
The people that were there. Okay, yeah.
There's an etiquette when it comes...
Absolutely.
And
if you don't know it, ask.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You literally...
We'll tell you the etiquette.
You're in a group of 10 people, and that's a lot. Like, if you're getting a shot with a single couple, these 2 people right here, there should be a line, right? Like, because...
It's a lot on the couple, too. Like, you have, like... Think of one camera in front of you. Like, this is daunting. Yeah. Like, think of... And then 10?
Yeah, it's scary.
It's a lot.
And so these 2 chicks couldn't care less about other photographers. And it's just like they were cut in front of us. Like, they would stop. Like, say I was telling them a pose, and then they would stop and be like, oh, wait, actually, now come over here and pose over here. And it's like...
Literally just this happened at a content day.
That's not good.
Blood boils. Like, I'm literally working with this couple. You can wait. I'm going to take 5 seconds to take this photo.
We all paid money to be here, and we all have to respect each other's time. And if you follow the rules of kind of staying in a line, or like, I like breaking I like having multiple couples and then breaking people off into
Yeah.
groups. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to sit and wait for, like, 9 other people to pass through. Like...
Or, like, jump to the side. If you see something that, like, another photographer's doing, jump to the side and take the photo in a different perspective. You're not always going to get the couple straight on. And I think that's the big thing to take away from the content days.
Yeah.
That's where you have to get creative. You might not get this perfect shot, but work through something different. Maybe figure out, yes, you paid to be there, but it's not a wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the time that you can't. I take some of the weirdest stuff during content days.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want to try it. It might look cool. And then I take it to a wedding. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, just be super nice. And, you know, I have been to some where people are like, hey, are you guys good if we move forward? Right? Like, and be communicative. I think that's the biggest thing. And just be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
And don't steal couples when you're not working with them.
Yeah.
It's rude.
No, yeah. Like, there's just, you can't think about yourself during this. Like, you're in a group full of people. Respect each other's time. Like,
and know that when you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to work with, and, you know, you can ask those questions to the host too. Like, hey, how many spots are you opening this up to? If it's something like $1,000 content day and it's massive and you're like, yes, I want to do this. You can reach out to the host and say how many spots. And if they're like, oh, we're keeping it really small and there's 10 people and you're like, do I want to work with 10 for that, like around $1,000? No, maybe not. Maybe if it was like 5, yeah.
I probably would do that, yeah.
So, and that, again, full circle, just like, what are you doing them for?
Yeah.
What is it going to benefit you? And I think just like for everyone, just know. That's why I prefaced it at the beginning. They're always going to be chaotic.
Mm-hmm. They're really
always going to be chaotic.
You also can't be passive. Like, that was a huge thing for me.
I learned how to not be passive.
Yeah.
On 10 days. It was hard.
You have to lay down the line sometimes. Like, with those girls that were, like, at the end of the day, I told them. I was so fed up. And I was just like, hey, wait till everyone else is done with the shot. And they shut up. And they stepped back. Yeah. And I was, obviously, don't be a dick about it. But unless they are. 100. I'm not kidding. I think, yeah. But, like, you know, you have to lay down the law too. You paid money to be here. And if you're getting frustrated the whole time, then you need to say something. Like, fix the problem. Don't be passive. Fix it.
You might also be the problem. And, like, that's one thing too. Like, I have told someone's told me, like, oh, hey, you just got my shot. I'll be like, and so now I'm way more aware of my surroundings. And be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, and this isn't to scare you. Like, they are not terrifying. Like, 90% of the people there are like, no, it's fine. It's content days. You know what I mean? But we're more so just letting you know what could happen. Yeah. And then, is it worth it? Well, is it worth it for the money that you're going to be spending? Yeah. Because I've been to content days where I didn't feel like it was worth the money I spent. And then I've been to content days where I was like, I loved this so much I would have paid more. Yeah. Like, and that's just going to happen. But I do always walk away from a content day with more network. I meet someone, at least one person. Oh, yeah. All the time. And every vendor is amazing that I have met at content days. I think I've ever met a bad vendor, if I'm being honest with you. Well, but I mean, like just getting to know them has been, like, amazing during content days. Because 9 times out of 10, like, the dress people are there. The florist usually is around, you know, maybe working, but you can at least say, like, hey, like, beautiful work, you know, XYZ. Yeah. So, okay, so let's end with this question then. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't have to end, but to close out the content day session. Yeah. So, let's say that you are a person. My ear just started ringing. Weird. Let me breathe for a second. Courtney's just passing out. Oh. Hi. So if you don't want to pay for a content day, doesn't seem worth it to you, whatever, but you're still new. You're maybe a little terrified to, like, come up with a concept or whatever. What do you do? Like, should someone go out looking for styled shoots, or should they just learn how to reach out to their own vendors to have this vision come to life? Like, I think and that was their own. Yeah, like that was something that was really hard for me. Probably around year 3, I will say, is when I started being like, oh, I want to do this. Yeah. I don't want to work with a ton more people. And so I had to learn how to reach out to vendors, or I had to figure out what it was that I wanted to create. Mm-hmm. Like, what year do you think that like starts? I mean, obviously it can happen whenever. I'm just saying when it happened to me because I get a little passive.
No, I really do think, I think year 3 is when I put my first content, and no, it was a styled shoot together and stuff, because it was like, yeah, I had an idea that I didn't see anybody doing. And I was like, well, it's going to take a little bit of money to put together, so it'd be smart to offer it up to other creatives so that we could do this concept and stuff like that.
We did that for New Year's. I forgot. We did that for New Year's.
The New Year's one. Show. Yeah, exactly. We had a fun New Year's concept, and we were just like...
I talked to every single one of those girls still. So.
Yes.
Again, see, networking. Like, that's the huge part about it.
Yeah, and so I think the minute that I realized I wanted to put together my own, like, little styled shoot content day was when I had an idea myself that I wanted to bring to life. And I was limited because I'm also was putting my own money into the concept and stuff like that. Yeah. And I wanted it, I had a vision, and I have the personality to bring those things to life. I just, unfortunately, need money to do it and stuff like that.
So, absolutely. And the thing that just sparked in my head is like, okay, let's say that you're still newer to photography, but you have a group, like we had a group, you know, for the first couple of years. Like, you can also do that. Do something together as a group, figure out your vibe and how you want. And then, like you said, when you want to open up to more people, you just start posting on Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're really, that's more so the difference of a style shoot that I think.
Wait, this brings up a good thing. So there's this, they're not new, maybe new to me, but like, it's more, they're not, I feel like content days and styled shoots and workshops are something that you pay for. Like, you go to pay to attend. Yeah. But there's these things going around where it's like a collaboration day. So,
I've heard of these.
Oh my gosh, I just went on one. Well, I didn't. It was like a year ago. But everyone just splits everything. There's no money attending. It's more just like, if you want a certain dress from a rental place, then
you get it.
You get it. Or if you want florals, then you get it. Or everybody just, we all put in how much money everything costs and split it halfway. Like, you split the Airbnbs. Like, it's completely all collaborative.
That's
and
cool.
You're just there to get content. So you're not like really out any, like, you're not paying to attend. You're just collaborating with everyone.
And it's like your vision coming to life.
Yeah.
With a handful of other people that are interested in that vision.
Yeah.
That's
and
fun.
So like, you literally just do that with a group of photographers.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Get some models that want to go on a road trip. Like, it's really cool.
That is really cool. I like that. I guess I have we call it the coffee club in our group chat. And because we used to just go to coffee and like edit and do stuff. We did like 1 or 2 shoots that were kind of like that. And we just like split everything.
Yeah.
And one person took a concept and said, this is what I want to do. And then people were like, yeah, I want to join or not. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that that's being like open up more to like public things and just like what I said, like in our little group.
Yeah. And it's just nice.
I like that.
It's just nice too. Cause like the one I went to, Ava J Photo put it together. If you know Ava, she's awesome.
I meet her.
I adore her.
She is so talented too.
Oh, don't even get me started. She is so good.
Ava fangirl.
We're a big fan of Ava. But so she's the one who did this. We went to Moab, and there were 1, 2
another Moab.
Literally. The amount of times I've been to Dead Horse Point is ridiculous. I love it. It's stunning. Anyways, I digress. But so how she advertised it was like, this is not a workshop. I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm literally just want a group of photographers to drive down to Moab with me and take some photos. Like, the models are bringing their own fits.
I love that.
And I was like, this is killer.
And you guys just all stayed in like the same Airbnb, split that hell.
Exactly. And like we and a lot of the times vendors, I shouldn't say a lot of the times, if you ask a vendor like if they want to collab, sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. Yeah. But like a local dress company said yes, and they just gave us free wedding dresses.
Yeah.
As long as they got the photos back. And so like we didn't pay for that.
Love. That's so cool.
I worked for a shoe company at the time, so we got free shoes. Like it was just, and they got content. Like it was just like we didn't spend any, like hardly any money, because that Airbnb was split by like 10 people and stuff. And so it was, and that stuff is fun. Awesome. Like that was really cool. And I want to do more of that because
I want to do that.
We should just put together.
Slow season's coming around the corner. It's usually when I do a lot of studio work, I feel too.
Yeah. Oh,
Is Moab? I don't know. I've never been to Moab during like. I've been in March. It's a little cold. We could do something in March. Well, maybe not Moab. We only got we'll figure something out.
I'm like, stop taking me to Moab. I'm just kidding. I love Moab. It's just I've been to it so much.
Maddie no more wants Moab.
I need to find new places because I've been to Arches.
Have you done to Jackson Hole? Have you done Jackson Hole?
Yeah. Like the Tetons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been on the backside. Forgot.
Like Victor. The other side, Idaho side.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Jackson.
And it was. We drove over there and spent like a couple hours there, and it was stunning.
But you haven't done like a shoot there.
No, I want to. Oh wait, but that's another thing to talk about too. Okay, and we kind of talked about it a little bit, but like content days in other states. Like, how do we feel? Like, how is Utah different than others? Because I don't feel like I can really talk about this because I've flown out to Oregon, but the person who threw that was from Utah. So
okay. So I can talk on it based on the one that I did in Jackson Hole in 2021 because I haven't done a lot. I don't know. For the longest time, I just felt like content days were a Utah thing. I really did just think that like it was huge on Utah.
Well, Utah is crazy with photography.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I don't think other states have what we have.
No, well, and like, right, like I have a lot of, I have a girl that lives in Virginia Beach. I have a girl that lives in Georgia, and they like always come out to Utah to get the Utah. I'm like, I know, it's a gorgeous place. Okay, digress. So the people that hosted the ones in Jackson Hole, they were from Minnesota, I think.
Oh, and they hosted it in Jackson Hole. Cool.
So they wanted to bring stuff out west. So that was really cool. The girl that I met from Virginia Beach, she's like still my best friend to this day. And another girl, Bree, her work's amazing too. And like, so I got to meet these really awesome people, but I don't get to see them. So that's a hard one of like, if you're going from Utah to another state, networking's not the primary thing there because like, you're just hoping to get booked there. Yeah. Right? So content is huge there. I think that's when you want to be the one that's not passive. Like, hey, I spent money. I'm going to put my work and get the photos that I want in other states. It's something that I'm actually going to work on this year going because like I said at the beginning, I want to touch on a couple other venues in California and Chicago. I'm right there with you. I don't know though. Traveling back east is so hard sometimes. Like I might just keep everything over to the west, but so whenever I come back on this podcast, we'll talk about it because I'm hoping to do one soon. Yeah. I want to see what other states have to offer. I've done the Jackson Hole and it was amazing. I loved it.
I think the main reason like why I would ever sign up to go to a different state, you're right, would be because I want to go to that location. Yeah. I want to post photos from that location.
Or you want couples to hire you.
In that location. 100%. Like, I don't care about education, really. I don't really care about networking. I care about getting the content. Yeah. And I think, I will say, I know it feels kind of, not irresponsible, but I guess a little business risky to spend so much money on a trip like that.
Yeah, be smart with it.
But I think it's worth it. I mean...
She's like, balling. Who cares?
I
only have $500 to go into this content.
No, but like this Oregon content day that I did a couple years ago changed my life.
It's marketing. It's advertising.
It literally is, I think, so valuable. And I know it's expensive and you can't do it like every single month, whatever.
You have to plan.
But I do think if you want to be a travel destination photographer, I think you should budget content days like that. 100%. And you should think about where you want. Like, do you want more New York weddings? You need to go to content days in New York. Like, do you want more Oregon?
Or do your own style shoot. And you don't have to open that up either.
We literally went to New York and we just put together some shoots. And now we have stuff from New York that we can, because I would love more New York weddings.
Minus the travel, y'all. Our bags did not end up on our plane. So East Coast travel was a lot.
We also had like 3 layovers and we got so sick.
This is our next talk. We need to talk about travel, being a travel and destination photographer. Because is it worth it? That's the other question. Well, no, just kidding. It is. But yeah, and to come back to what you're saying, like, yeah, you have. If you want to shoot it, you got to shoot there.
You got to go. It's just something you have to budget for. Because I think when I first started out, I was like, why would I pay $600 for an out-of-state content day, and then on top of that, all the travel and lodging. Like, that just seems like such a big cost. But at the end of the day, it changed my life, and it's something that's an investment in yourself.
Well, and you've seen benefit to it.
Yeah.
So that's like why she wanted to do the whole talk about this, because yes, it has benefited anyone that I've talked to. I have always heard that a content day, a workshop.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave styled shoots out of that.
Yeah.
Content days and workshops have always been benefited someone that's attend.
Yeah. 100%.
It might not just because of the photo though.
Yeah. No, there's always something I think that you get from it.
Yeah.
And so I love them. I don't go to them as much anymore. I'll be honest with you. I'm busy with bookings. Like, sorry.
Because of the content days.
Sorry. Because of the content. It's so true, though. It's so true.
We're here because of a content day.
Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah.
100%. And so, like, but, like, if I was in a slow time, I'm going to invest in myself to, one, either get content or get education.
Yeah.
That's just, also, there's never, I'm sorry, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good you are. You can always learn more. Oh. And you, like, constant. I think workshops should always be something you do at least once a year. Try and learn something new. Like, it's just, like, you can always learn. And technology grows every single year. And I just, like, there's so much that I learn from others.
Yeah.
That I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I just.
When I think as a new photographer, like, gear is everything. New, shiny. I'm like a fish. Like, freaking put something shiny in the water, I'm gonna get it. Like, literally.
Oh my gosh.
I have this, like, gadget, and I love it.
It's so cool.
It is my favorite. But what I'm saying is, get your camera, get the right memory cards, get the things that you need in order to do your job properly. Once you have that, stop spending money on gear. Start spending money on continuing your education and learning. And like you said, even if it's just once a year, don't kill yourself.
No.
I have gone to a lot of content days in the past and then realized that I have to edit everything that I've gone to. So I haven't gone to them. I've been to 2, I think, this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they were awesome. So.
Yeah. I just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you're 20 years of experience or just barely starting out your photography journey. I do think they're worth it. I think there's benefit. I don't know, take what you can from it. Don't go in with, like, super, like, strict expectations of I need this. Just go there, experience it, and take what you can from it and stuff like that. And I think it's a great way to learn, to meet people. It's a great way to learn about your style.
Because we're best friends.
Bold of you to say best friend. Really bold of you.
We're really good friends because of one.
I love Courtney with all of my heart. I will sell myself for her.
I don't feel it anymore. Is my face red? Because it's so awkward.
She's like, are we done? I need to get out. Oh my gosh. No, okay. We did it. We talked about it. We're done. This is Talk Photo to Me. Courtney, where can they find you? Where are the people looking?
Instagram, Courtnee, Courtnee, stone.co. Yeah, video, photo. Book Maddie with photo and you need a videographer, please reach out. I love working with this sweet, beautiful human. She's awesome. So, and if you need boudoir, a little saucy.
A little saucy. She's extremely talented, I would say. Yep. And this is Talk Photo to Me. You can find us on Instagram, Talk Photo to Me. YouTube is Talk Photo to Me Pod. And that's pretty much it.
Just, signing out from Oregon.
Ugh.